Back to the channel. We are live, a little bit late. We're here now.
Hi, you
Thank
guys.
you for being here. Let us know if we have audio. It seems like there's always something.
Yeah, and I hope everyone had a wonderful, blessed, and relaxing Christmas. And I was telling Chris about this bill that Biden just passed. And once again, we're kicking FISA down the road. And you guys, FISA is really becoming an issue for us Americans. And kind of wanted to get into it a little bit of where it's not what it started out to be back in 1978 when they signed it.
The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act.
Yep.
FISA. Remember that. It's like Big Brother's bill. It's like a Big Brother legislation that helps them surveillance everybody, you know, but it has to do with foreign affairs and foreign stuff. Just know it's always the opposite of what they say. Everybody needs to be watching FISA and what they're up to. It was Kyle Sarapin that was talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable. It was on Redacted. If you want to watch that interview, we can pretty much sum it up on what it was about.
Yeah, so you guys, he's a former FBI agent, which if you guys know, I used to work for the FBI. And there's a difference between intelligence gathering and criminal, like when you do a criminal warrant. And there's a difference. And the FISA is where some of that falls under. Because if you do an intelligence, you don't have to have a warrant. You literally can just say someone's a person of interest, and you can start tracking them. And under this 702, this started back in 1978. And I think where it's causing concern, and want to get into it a little bit maybe, is the fact that it started out as a good thing. And this is being slid under a bill that is going to actually help the military and give them a raise. Biden just signed this into law, which is going to be $866 billion.
And for those of you that don't know, Stacey used to work for the government. Let them, for the people that hasn't heard it, what happened after the Patriot Act? Patriot Act, sorry.
This actually started before the Patriot Act. This actually.
Yeah, but what happened afterwards? What were you able to do just willy-nilly on your own?
Oh, we could just do subpoenas left and right. All I had to have was a rubber stamp, and I could track anything I wanted to online.
Boop. Oh, who do you want to subpoena? Boop.
No, it was I could track. So, man, we're getting.
No. I'm just saying after the Patriot Act,
we're going.
Everything
fast
really went downhill, and this is something that was put into play way back, and now. Can you only imagine where we're headed?
So you guys, from the history, if you look at FISA, yes, I did. I used to work for, as you said, the FBI. And after 9/11, it escalated. It really did. But it started back in 1978, after the Cold War, this FISA. And you guys, it all started out as a good thing because we were supposed to be surveilling people. If you guys can hear me, I hope you can. I'm putting my mic here because I speak loud. But foreign. But it became where, especially after 9/11, it became where we did and I wrote it down, the actual term, so I would get this correct. But when we started going backwards tracing, it's called reverse targeting. That's actually illegal. And then we started doing it and you guys go watch that video on Redacted. I'll maybe try to put it in the description or pin it in the comments. There's a former FBI guy that actually is speaking out. He's a whistleblower. And he actually worked some of this. So did I. I didn't work FISA so much. I did have to do affidavits, but stuff like that. But after 9/11, I literally had my supervisor's signature on a rubber stamp, and I would just stamp it on that subpoena, and I could trace anybody that I wanted to online. I could see what you were doing. And I think that's, to me, where I see a problem with this. So the taxpayer dollars are paying thousands and billions of dollars to track us and just try to find something, it seems like, to hem us up.
And, of course, it's such a good thing. You know, Biden signed off on it.
He did.
And it's just, it's always opposite of what they say. It's crazy. Whistleblower Kyle Sarapin talked about the corrupt practices of the FBI, including illegal surveillance on Americans using the FISA program and warrants. You just heard Stacey say about what happened after the Patriot Act. She had her supervisor that was supposed to be the one doing it, you know, overlooking and signing off. She just had a rubber stamp. It's crazy.
Well, supposedly, so when you have a warrant, as you guys all know, this all goes back to the Fourth Amendment, you guys. The Fourth Amendment right now is in jeopardy. And I think that is the key takeaway. You are supposed to be protected in your home. And I want to read, can I read it real quick?
Read it.
Because I think this is becoming a really big issue. I want to read the Fourth Amendment. This is the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. I get fired up about this kind of stuff because to me, I think this is our rights, and I think
it's the only thing keeping us out of the gulag.
Yeah, and it gets taken away. And here's the thing is, some of this stuff just gets slid in these bills. Like this bill looks really good, $866 billion, because we're going to give military people a raise, which I'm so for. But they always slide stuff in that hurts us.
Yeah, they got to do a lot of things that they don't want to do to make it look good.
But the Fourth Amendment, you guys look it up. It says it is to protect people's rights to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, effects against unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. It requires the government to have probable cause and a warrant to search or arrest. That's what typically happens when you have, I used to do affidavits, and I would have to literally line up every single thing to say, this is going to be what I think is going to be in this house. This is the crime supposedly that happened. I had to have a warrant, an affidavit, and I would have to go to the judge. You get a warrant. You guys, with this FISA, this intelligence portion, you don't have to do any of that. And it's sealed. Even if you do a information request, you'll never know if they're looking at you or not. Keep going.
I mean, you can just imagine the misuse.
Yes.
Of this kind of
well, they
power.
said it was over 300,000 in 2022 of misuse.
Wow.
That they've documented.
And this kind of misuse is what causes really big problems when the wrong people have the authority and they misuse this authority.
Yep.
When you hired on for the government, you had to go through the Holocaust Museum?
No, agents did. I didn't have to do it. I went voluntarily.
Okay, well, FBI agents used to have to go.
When Louis Freeh was
mandatory.
Yep, when he was the director.
That they had to go and look at what abuse of power does. And now it's not, you don't have to do that now, of course. Well, look at that. But that's what's going on, guys. It's crazy. I'm not trying to make something more of than what it is. But this is just one of those things. They're just chipping away at our freedoms, and now they're taking massive chunks.
Well, this has been since 1978. It just seems like getting worse being used against us personally as United States citizens.
Well, it's growing with technology and
yes,
all this other, they want to have total control of the internet, for Pete's sake. Everything's the internet.
Even the guy on Redacted even said, Clayton, he said, everybody needs to start calling their congressmen, representatives, senators, everybody, and saying, this is enough. We need to stop this. There needs to be rules on this and regulations. They should not just have a wide open range to do any kind of intelligent information that they want. It's sealed. There is no... Basically, if they decide that you're a person of interest, and who decides that?
Yeah, well... That's the whole point. Who actually gets to decide that?
They do.
Does AI eventually get to decide that? You know they already have the technology to do all that.
We're probably being recorded right now.
Yeah, I guarantee you. All the stuff, they know our values, and they can set the algorithms and weed us out. Put those people in the pile that gets audited. Because we said certain key words.
Yep.
This technology is out there, guys, and it is terrifying, for lack of words.
Yep. Or who you donate to.
And then it goes back to your money, like you just said. Who you donate to? Oh, you donate to them? Yep. Oh man, you didn't do right. Your social credit score went down. Well, let's look at your carbon. How much carbon are you using? If you're doing all these things, and it all goes together with social credit score, and it's linked to your digital ID, and we're just, it's just part of approaching the Thunderdome.
But I want us to, you guys as a community, and this is the most amazing community, and I want us to start really reaching out. I'm going to do that starting in the next week or two. Apparently, this has been kicked down the road until April. At April, they have to vote on it again. So you guys, we have until April 2024 As a community, if we can stand up and start reaching out to our leaders, our Congress, senators, all the different people that represent our areas and say, we're not happy with this. I don't know if it'll do any good, but that's what I'm going to do that. I am. Because I've got to become a voice or nobody's going to become a voice. And we've talked about this before.
Such a hard time doing that.
I know, but we have to.
I know, but I feel like if they, and G. Edward Griffin said this in an interview with me. He said if they knew, if that did any good, it might work. You know, if they didn't already know they were doing the wrong thing, they know how to fix it. They're not stupid. They're evil.
But if
so if it doesn't happen now, it will. So all I'm saying is this is in the future, whether it passes this time or not.
But maybe if we could get enough, and I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be real.
It is real. You're probably right. But anyway, I just want to talk about this. So apparently Joe Biden, he just came out and he was so excited. He made an announcement, $886 billion. It's an extension of that warrantless surveillance that we talked about, FISA. It's a 702. And they were saying basically that they're calling it actually on when they were talking about it with redacted, they call it basically the secret police. It's gotten to the point now where it's no longer foreign intelligence. It's basically secret police.
That's like the Gestapo, right?
That's what they're saying.
History repeats. It's crazy. I can see it so clear. You know, it's like, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just saying.
It's being abused more and more, it seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be so easy to slide some little something in where, oh, we can, and if they don't already have it, let's just pretend like they don't already have it. They could slide something, one little thing where it gives you, just access to everybody's stuff. Just to your photos on your phone. They turn your phone. You can't tell me they can't.
Oh, I'm
sure
sure
turn
they
your phone.
do.
The apps
Yep.
can turn your phone on.
Yep.
And if you got TikTok, the Chinese are mining data from your whatever you peck on, letters, everything you can imagine. It's a Chinese mining app. They're mining information from you.
We got 157 and 64 likes. You guys go like this because this information is very, very important. Even said the FBI is using reverse targeting to unlawfully query Americans' information is gathered through this. That's the world we're living in. So you guys, we need to get this information out here and we need to in some way stand up.
Yeah. Call somebody. You think it'll do good.
So.
Tell somebody. Tell your mom and dad and grandpa. Tell everybody, and at least they'll know. And you don't have to tell them all freaked out. Just be like, hey, this is make it real light. This is what's happening. And more than likely, they already have our information. But, if this thing passes, they for sure will, and they'll be able to do anything they want. I'm not saying they can already. I'm just saying, tell somebody that doesn't know.
It is. It's passed until April. In April, the vote comes back up. So they're trying to say by April, if you can reach out to your congressman and say, we need some kind of regulation on this. It does not need to be passed the way it's passed right now. It does not need to be where they can just use it unlawfully against Americans.
Right.
And target Americans.
Are you about to give away some silver?
I know, Mr. Eddie. I got another eagle.
Mr. Eddie's up to it again.
I know he is.
Thank you, Mr. Eddie.
You want to give away a piece? What do you want to hashtag?
Mr. Eddie gave the best, too. He gave silver eagles. That's pretty cool, man.
All right, you guys. Silver eagle coming up.
Put hashtag Mr. Eddie. Thank you, Mr. Eddie. Something like that.
Yeah,
Make sure Eddie's in it.
Mr. Eddie. And then Chris will pick some in just a minute. But anyway, I came out and I was talking to Chris about this, and this concerns me. Well, I'll just tell you guys, after I did leave the FBI, remember that? I told them they tracked me. Remember the strange phone calls I would get?
Strange phone calls.
They were seeing where I lived, what I was doing. She had to get
clearance to marry me.
I did, you guys. Oh, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. So I was still working for the FBI when I met him, and I had to get clearance to marry him. And I felt bad for his parents because they went and even interviewed your parents. And I said, so what happens if you tell me that he doesn't pass? They basically looked at me and said, well, you can quit and marry him, or you can stay and not marry him. But he passed.
It was nuts what they had to know about you. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But
we even had jewelry I had to report. I mean, that's just how much that I had a high security clearance, so too. But anyway, all right, you guys, hashtag Mr. Eddie. But that's something I think that I would like all of you guys.
Are we ready?
I know it's a chore. It's not fun. But But I think everybody should reach out to your local congressmen and senators and everybody, and I think we should start saying, all right, you guys, we're done with this. We're done being surveillance that it's not with a warrant.
Right. And I hope it does good. At least tell somebody.
Yep.
You know. But that's probably what we should all do. You know what? I'll call my senator. I'll do it.
I emailed him on that last one, and I got responses, including the guy from Mike Johnson. And
I'm
he
gonna call him
said,
and tell him I got a YouTube channel and that I reached out to them, and if they don't send me a good reply back, I'm gonna tell everybody.
well, he reached out
I want him to
on
do
the last
something.
one. I actually got responses from everyone.
From him, or is it
from
just
his
the
office.
secretary passing it through? You know, I have a feeling that they're employed by the government, so I don't expect too much out of them. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna reach out to it. Now it's time to give some silver away. This is cool. All right,
This
there's
is the
a
fun
lot
part.
of Mr. Eddies in here. Go all the way to the top.
I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. Chris and I
I'm gonna
did.
go all the way back down, and then I'm gonna go up, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
go down. Okay, right here.
Okay. Boom.
Roger Smith.
Roger Smith, hashtag Mr. Eddie. Hey, Roger.
Roger Smith.
So if you'll text that number right there, 318-564-5823.
Yeah, Stacy's a broker for Miles Franklin, and some of the people that purchase precious metals asked to do this. They want us to give back to the community, and it's really cool. It's a really cool thing, and it means a lot to give silver because there's only so much of it on the planet. So.
And you know what? Somebody just sent me some fractional silver to give away in the next video.
Oh wow, fractional silver.
Yeah.
Like junk silver?
No, fractional.
Real
like looks
real
like
silver. Or 100% silver. I'm not getting down on constitutional silver.
No.
Silver people really get hacked off about that.
No, he sent it to me, and I thank you. He was so nice. He sent it to me. So, yeah, we'll be giving that away in the next. And I got a few more of these to give away, Eagles, so you guys stay tuned for the next couple of videos.
All right, guys, let me know what you come up with. For real, I'll do a recap of this video and ask you what your senator said. Did you get a response? Do you think it just passed through? You know, like persimmon seeds through a coon. You know what I'm saying? Did it just go unseen, or did it actually work and do something? I'm curious.
Well, I don't know, but I feel very passionate about this, and I think this is becoming a really big issue. You should, guys, go look at that video of that former FBI guy. Even Edward Snowden is speaking out about this. He's another whistleblower, and this is becoming a really big issue for the United States, and I think we need to say something, and if we don't...
That's somebody from the UK here. That's
We'll
cool.
just go... We'll be, what did they say? All right.
Roger went too far into the matrix. Think so? I don't know.
Anyway.
All right, guys. Have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one. Later.